Good morning. So we looked at Chuck Pettinger's article on 5 ways to build a safety culture, and I'm curious to get your input on this. What do you think it looks like to be proactive?
Proactive is very difficult. It means anticipating. In the safety culture, we're always, for the most part, reactive. What that means is when something happens once, we try to prevent that from happening. So our reaction is one of fixing the last thing that happened rather than looking at the processes or something, the symptoms, and saying what could happen, what steps could we do to mitigate the potential for an accident. It's a mindset, and then within that reactive is not to let ourselves overreact. So anything that we do has to be in balance with the cause that caused the reaction. Uh, Proactiveness is probably the most difficult thing for any organization to do because it takes some imagination. You have to sit there and actually look at what you're doing and play a guessing game. What if? And it's very, very difficult to defend against some what ifs.
Right, right. And one of the other difficulties that Pettinger mentions is that it's hard to motivate people to actually listen to what you're saying and to follow safe practices. What advice do you
Yeah.
have there?
Well, it's messaging. And we have to be careful not to tell people always what to do. It's getting them to buy off from understanding why they're trying to do what we're wanting them to do. Something as simple as putting on gloves. It can say you shall do this, and everybody understand. You shall mandatory word from on high. But it's like, hey, you're wearing a wedding ring. It can get snagged. Put a glove over it, and it'll keep it from pulling off. So it could save your marriage, and keep your finger on there. So making the message be personal, making the message be impactful and meaningful to the people listening to it. They have to hear what you're trying to tell them, but they also have to understand the context of it and buy off on it. Well, what's in it for me besides you telling me? I mean, you telling me to do something means it's beneficial to you. Explaining to me why it's beneficial for me and for me to understand the message means I'm much more likely to do what you're asking us to do, which is change a behavior.